Royal Family report shows net expenditure funded by the sovereign grant fell by £18.4 million. Taxpayer-funded royal spending has fallen by nearly £20 million in the last year, Buckingham Palace has announced. The spending, which comes under the remit of the sovereign grant, had soared to more than £107 million in 2022, but latest royal accounts have put the new figure a significant fraction lower. In the financial year ending March 31, 2024, the net expenditure of the sovereign grant fell to £89.1 million, an £18.4 million drop from 2023's £107.5 million. The fall represents a 17% decrease from the last year, which is due in large part to a reduction in spending on the Buckingham Palace Reservicing Programme, a £369 million multi-year spanning series of works on the monarch's residence. Welcome to Royal Pancakes. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell, so you don't miss any news about the British monarchy. The total sovereign grant, the payment the British government makes to the royal family, has stayed at £86.3 million for the third consecutive year. This figure comprises a core grant of £51.8 million which funds official travel, property maintenance and the operating costs of the sovereign's household, and an additional temporary amount for the palace renovations of £34.5 million. In return for the grant, under the conditions of the Sovereign Grant Act 2011, the King hands over the revenue generated by the Crown Estate to the Exchequer. Latest government figures place the Crown Estate payouts at a staggering £3 billion over the last decade, over 3 times the total grant allocation in the same time period. All in all, the sovereign grant amounted to £1.29 per person in the UK, when not factoring in the extra cash for the Buckingham Palace reservicing. This comes to just 77p. Any discrepancies between the consistent grant allocation and the real-life spending of the King are accounted for by income from the Duchy of Lancaster, described as Privy Purse income. And reflecting on the accounts, the Keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, said, "This is now the third year for which the sovereign grant has not increased by one single penny, despite the supplementary costs incurred by the change of reign and despite the double-digit inflationary pressures that have impacted on goods and services for all organisations in that same period. What has remained constant is the determination to deliver value for money in ensuring the royal family are able to serve our communities to the best of their abilities, even in difficult personal circumstances." The latest figures may not come as welcome reading for anti-monarchists. Just days ago, the state opening of Parliament found itself at the centre of a protesting storm when activists from Republic demonstrated in the heart of London. Though supporters of the monarchy insist the institution is value for money, and brings far more into the UK economy and culture than it takes out, opinion polls are not quite as glowing. Surveys carried out by pollsters at Ipsos have placed the family at a 49% approval rating, with almost a quarter of Britons disapproving of the royals. Though the future appears to be in safe hands, the Prince and Princess of Wales enjoy both 62 and 61% net approvability, without taking the latter's cancer diagnosis into account. The royal family spent almost £3 million on travel in the last year, a new Buckingham Palace report has revealed. As part of the newly released annual Sovereign Grant Report, which details how the royals spend their government funding, Buckingham Palace unveiled an in-depth schedule of all the family's official journeys in the 2023-24 financial year. In that schedule, which includes both total travel spending and a detailed rundown of trips costing £17,000 or more, data shows the family and its staff splashed a minimum of £2.63 million on a range of engagements in the UK and abroad. The King's 2 state visits to Kenya and France topped the list, coming in at over £100,000 each, while a trip to Pickering in North Yorkshire aboard the Royal Train cost taxpayers some £52,000. Other notable outlays on travel included a visit by Princess Anne to Sri Lanka in January this year, at £48,000, and Prince William's trip to Kuwait in December 2023 following the death of the country's Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Sabah. Despite the King's cancer diagnosis, Charles still made the most high-value trips compared to other royals, but Princess Anne's wide-ranging series of engagements at home and abroad will only serve to bolster her reputation as one of the hardest-working members of the family.